What is up, geeks, gamers, and Gilmore girls? I'm Michael.
I'm Kyler, and this is Gamegasm. Alright, so today's video is going to be on our top 10 sitcoms.
Now, the interesting thing about our top 10 is we've both done a separate top 10, and we're going to argue the hell out of each other.
Yes. I'm going to be like, oh, what? This one? No, that shouldn't be on
The
there.
best part about this one, you watch like 3 shows.
Yeah, no, this
so
one...
you don't know any sitcoms.
I don't know that many sitcoms, so I'm going to be very biased this episode. And I don't even care, and neither do you, because I'm telling you, you don't care. So let's get started at number 10.
Mike. Douche.
what do you have, Mike? What do you got?
All right, for my number 10, I have Community. I actually put it on there.
Number 10?
I've seen 2 episodes.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
If I had seen more, they would be much higher on my list. I can assure you, because somebody literally told me that I remind them of that, like, I don't know, like the small, like, Indian nerd guy.
Not even. You don't even. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Community is about a group of people who kind of form a study group and become friends.
At a community college.
At a community college, and they just do a bunch of random stuff. And it's pretty awesome and hilarious, so... Your number 10, Community. I can get on board with that, I guess.
What are we gonna get? SpongeBob SquarePants? No cartoons on this list.
Dang
Sorry.
it. Yeah, cartoons is not a thing. Okay. My number 10 was actually Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which might seem weird.
The cartoon was better of that show.
I haven't seen the cartoon, but I remember I used to watch the show a lot because my mom watched it, and it was actually pretty good. Like,
I'm sorry.
It wasn't
no, the cat
a
was
bad
funny.
show.
Salem was funny.
Salem was the best.
Like
when he
his
became
quips.
human, there was some quote, I don't even remember, and it pisses me off because there was a quote from him that I remember that's hilarious, but I don't remember, so I can't say that I remember even though I did.
Fair enough. All right. Number 9, you give yours first.
All right, number 9, I put Drake and Josh. Drake and Josh, that old classic kiddie show, not kiddie show, kind of teen Nick style sort of thing.
Yeah, it was like
Drake
the tweeners.
Josh Peck.
It hit around our time, so.
Yeah, well, exactly.
It's not on my list, but I enjoyed it.
Fair enough. And I think everybody who's our age would enjoy the show. I think they grew up with that show. It's a classic show of 2 stepbrothers doing crazy antics and things together, along with their evil little sister. So that's
I didn't like
number
the
9
sister.
Well, I don't blame you.
My number 9 is The Office. The US version. Have not seen the UK version. I actually really like The Office, which is weird because I'm not a handheld guy.
Yeah, neither am I. I can
see your face
so I can't
cringing.
Say...
Because you understand that it's like this handheld thing.
Yeah. For example, I haven't seen many handheld things. The only one that I have seen and that I couldn't watch because of it was Parks and Rec, which I know a lot of people liked. And they say
Parks and Rec.
They say like their actors are really good, but the handheld thing I can't get on board with. It just comes off really poorly to me.
Number 8 is going to get me murdered.
Oh God.
My number 8 is Friends.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna get you hurt.
There are 7 other sitcoms that exist out there that I like more than Friends now.
Friends is up there, dude. Friends is a good show.
Fair enough, but Seinfeld didn't even make my list.
Okay, to be fair, I always liked Friends, but
I thought Seinfeld would make my list, and I thought Friends would be higher, but when I really looked at it and I remembered back, I only liked Chandler and Joey. I think the others annoy me a lot.
To be fair, I mean, like, I think there are a lot of moments that kind of fall flat, but each episode has its moments, except for maybe 1 or 2, but... It is an older show, but I think it's a really great show.
I'll say this about Friends because I'm imagining it's higher on your list.
It's higher. It is on my list, and it is higher than number 8.
Well, it's like one of the 3 sitcoms we talked about that you knew before we did this. So
that's true.
Anyway,
that's true. No, that's fine. Okay, I'm just gonna go to mine before you die. My number 8 is 2.5 Men, which I've never seen, but it looks pretty good. So I haven't seen a lot of shows. But 2.5 Men's on my list to watch. Eventually.
Okay, well, he wouldn't know.
If it gets on Netflix or something.
What do you think of 2.5 Men?
Write it down below. I don't even know what it's about besides Charlie Sheen.
The Sheen era or the Kutcher era? And the Kutcher era sounds like a funnier thing, but trust me, it's not.
It's funner to have a drug addict on the show then, huh? Winning. Winning. Okay, my number 7 is a show that not a lot of people know, surprisingly. At least I don't think. And it's Better Off Ted, which if you don't know it, which you probably don't.
Doesn't it have like an elevator thing for like
yeah, it's about this guy who's named Ted, and he's not quite the CEO, but he's a higher up in this company that's for research and development. So he and the person above him and then two of their science workers is basically the four main characters in the show, and just a whole bunch of random stuff happens because like research and development, you can literally create anything, like a fucking talking pizza or something. I don't think that was ever specifically in the show, but they had some crazy stuff. I think it's on Netflix. It was when I watched it, and it's a great series. Like, I'm pretty sure it falls under, sitcom, but no, I loved Better Off Ted. Great show.
My number 7 is one that I saw ads for when I was like younger, while it was actually on TV, and I thought this show's gonna be so stupid.
And you liked it.
And I'm right in a way.
Oh.
But it had a genius to it that I can appreciate now more than I could back then.
Okay.
I thought the trailers were terrible.
Okay, what is it? What is it?
He's rushing me, guys.
I want to know. I'm actually curious.
My Name is Earl.
Oh.
I actually like their device with the list and everything.
I don't.
I think it's
that's the redneck one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple episodes, like somebody was watching it, it was on the background or something, and I didn't...
Probably me.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know, I
don't hate it, but...
I didn't like it at
not
first,
my style.
though, like even when I was watching it, but I got through it in like high school, and my mind just kept kind of wandering back to it, and some of the characters and intricacies and like situations make it really funny, and your lead guy is pretty funny. It's just hard to get past that when you first look at the show.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
But
I can understand that. I haven't seen much of it, so I can't judge it. I think it's pretty smart, and it does a lot of good things. Fair enough.
My number 6 is a show that a lot of people are like, oh, I like Friends more, but I like this too. Scrubs.
You put that higher than Friends?
Yeah, have you seen Scrubs?
I have. In fact, it's on my honorable mentions.
Really?
Yeah, it's on my honorable mentions, the Scrubs.
I think Scrubs, like, I'm okay with the cutaway gags. So
no, I liked it. Like I've seen like
pretty awesome.
Well, I've seen like 4 or 5 episodes on Netflix. Oh, so I didn't get super into it.
Yeah, I've seen the entire series.
I liked what I saw.
I've seen the entire series. I love. I don't. Right now, character names just totally amiss.
I don't know, but I remember they had like an advertising campaign at the beginning with the black dude, and everybody thought it was racist. They were like, "What?"
I love Zach Braff's character.
Like they treated him like he's only important. Because...
I love Zach Braff's character. I love the boss. I like a lot of elements of the show, and I think it had really smart writing. There was one episode that killed me. Like it made me sad, and it had depth to the show. So in the very beginning, right? Mm-hmm. You got 3 doctors. The black guy, Turk, I think his name is.
Turk, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's Turk. I can't remember Zach Braff's character name, which is weird because I remember the actor and I don't know why. Job. And then there was the blonde chick as well. So each of them have a patient, right?
Sure.
And it starts off with Braff narrating the episode, going, every patient that we get, out of every 3 patients we get, 1 will die. And so they set it up that one of their patients going to die, and they go throughout it, and each of them get a little better, and then a little worse, and then a little better, and then a lot worse, and it keeps going through that the whole episode, and then at the end of the episode, all of them died, and he finishes it, and he goes, 1 in 3 patients will die, but some days it's worse. And I was not expecting that. Yeah, and that stuck with me.
I was hoping for it as you were explaining. I was like, "Come on, all of them die, please, just a little bit."
That's smart writing. Yeah. No, that's smart writing.
Right. You're right.
And Scrubs had a lot more of that than people give it credit for.
Fair enough. Isn't that the one with the janitor?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember
reading... Well, he was supposed to be only in the pilot.
I remember that. I remember reading that, but people loved
he's
that
like,
one
he's
little
like the
bit
father
so
from
much
the middle now, I think.
That they threw him in, yeah. So my number 6 is a show I haven't seen very much, but I would like to watch more, and that is Modern Family. Modern Family. It's about a modern family. You guessed it. This is probably a lot higher on most people's lists, too.
It's not on mine.
It's not on his list at all. Even honorable mentions?
No.
Well, I put it on here. You're welcome, people who like this show.
Oh, no.
Anyway, I've seen a couple of episodes. It looks really good.
The father from Married with Children, the sitcom I was telling you about earlier. He's in it.
Interesting.
What the fuck did I put my cup? I put it in the sink. I'm dumb.
Good job. Anyways, so yeah, I've seen a couple episodes, and the episodes I've seen, I actually really, really enjoyed, which is why I put it so high without seeing much of it at all, is because it looks like a fantastic show, and I would love to watch more of it. And I don't really have much to say about it, because I don't know it very well, but
I probably know more about it than you. But
you probably do. You probably do. Have you returned with your cup?
I don't have anything in it, but yeah.
You can pretend.
Oh.
You lied. You lied to me.
Apparently. All right.
Okay, my number 5 is a show that I used to watch a lot. I can't say as a kid because I wasn't a kid, and people would be like, "You watched this when you were 5 years old?" No, I wasn't that young because it's not the most appropriate show ever, but it's not bad. It's George Lopez. Fantastic. I really liked George Lopez. I feel like you're gonna fight me on that one.
No, George Lopez show was fun, just generic around that time. Because to me, generic, because that was the same era where they were like, let's take a funny person and give them a sitcom. And usually those shows aren't as good as shows that have actual good writing. Like, I don't remember George Lopez well. I remember one episode where George Lopez is having a nightmare because, like, his teenage daughter is, like, pregnant. So he's like, oh, no, you're pregnant. And then it's like, his wife's pregnant, too. He's like, oh, no, you're pregnant. And then his son is like, Dad, he looks, and his son is pregnant. And he's like, where's this going to come out? And George Lopez says, your belly button if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
And that is... I haven't seen the show in years. I haven't seen the show in years. That's the one joke I remember from it. So it's a good show. I'm not going to fight you on it. It's a great
show. Like, I would go back and rewatch the whole thing in a heartbeat.
I'm not going to fight you on it. I just don't know enough from it. And at the same time, it just has that same taste to me as, like, the whole Rob, that new one they tried to make with Rob Schneider and got 8 episodes out. Or, like, Everybody Loves Raymond, where he got his own show.
I don't like that much either.
But the thing is, they did a lot. Well, Seinfeld kind of started the buddy comedy.
I guess. Okay.
Seinfeld would have been on my list had you asked me, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But Seinfeld didn't really make my cut.
I never considered it to be on my top 10. Can't say I hate it, but I don't like it at all.
I can't say I hate it, but I hate it.
But I hate it. Yeah. This is okay. Continue your turn.
All right. My number 5 is That 70s Show.
Heard of it, don't know it at all. I couldn't put it on my list.
It's a show placed in the 70s.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it had a very terrible sequel, and that's 80s Show.
I remember hearing about that.
No, what kind of killed 2.5 Men killed this show too.
Ashton Kutcher.
Good one. Kind of. Because in season 8, you get, like, the main guy, Topher Grace, who left to do stuff in Spider-Man 3. So it's like, fuck you guys, I'm out. And then Ashton Kutcher had to leave the show. Well, they couldn't pay him enough because of SAG, the Screen Actors Guild. I didn't look it up.
It wasn't because he was getting older and a little bit looser.
Ashton Kutcher? Dude's ripped.
SAG.
But yeah. Memorable characters. Jackie pissed me off, though. I think it's a testament to a good show when one of the main characters are annoying and you can still love it.
That's fair, though. That's.
I think that's a testament.
See, the thing is, I haven't seen the show though, but I have seen a lot of memes. I am quite the meme lord. I'm sorry.
Them dank memes.
Them dank memes, bro. If you want any. Under the table, under the table memes.
I know what you mean, bro. My number 4 is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Heard of that one as well. I don't know it at all, even a little.
This is a show where the characters became bigger assholes, like morally, as the show went on. And there was, like, we watched the first 4 episodes, and these 4 bar owners... this guy, his sister, and then the other 2 owners, and they're kind of like a group of friends, but they like are mean to each other like all the time. especially the girl in the group. And then the girl and the boy who... their father's played by Danny DeVito. He comes into episode 5 and never leaves the show. So you really have 5 main characters, even though they credit him singularly on every episode.
Huh.
But it's funny because he's really just part of the main cast too. So you have 5 main characters, and it's hilarious because they're mean. They like rip each other. They get into so many things. Like they're bad people, but they're not like inherently bad. They're just stupid in their own way. That makes them bad.
Like,
no, and that's why it's great. It's not relatable.
Sounds odd to me.
It's like those, for me, it's like those inner desires and things. You're like, if I was more stupid,
if I didn't have a brain. Speaking of Danny DeVito,
I don't have one. Oh no, Friends is your number 5, isn't it?
Number 4. We're on number 4.
Oh, we are.
Friends is my number 4. I really like this show. I would normally put it higher, but looking at everything, I ended up realizing there are other shows I'd rather watch, which surprised me because I thought Friends was great.
That's mine too, and I've watched more sitcoms than you. So that's why it's lower on my list.
Fair enough.
You're like, what is that? What is that? I haven't seen that. I've seen like 4 episodes of that. And
like I put a show I haven't seen much higher than you put Friends on your list.
Oh, for sure.
My number 3 is Community. Your number 10 is my number 3. I just started watching this show.
Because you've been watching them while we were working on these lists, you ass.
I've been watching it a lot lately, so then it should be number 1. No, it's number 3, though. But I have been watching it. It's a new show to me, which might be why it's higher on the list. I haven't seen all the episodes. I've seen maybe 5 or 6. But from what I've seen
like 1
very or 2. Interesting. Like, I really enjoy it. And I just got Hulu, and I just started watching it because it's on Hulu.
Motherfucker,
it's not on Netflix. I literally just got it today.
Like you bought it yourself?
No, my parents have it. They got rid of their cable, their dish.
Oh, that's right.
And now they're doing only Hulu. Yeah, so
and Netflix,
which is hundreds of times.
Oh, now you owe me a soda.
No way, dude.
Give me one.
Oh God.
My number 3 is 2.5 Men.
Oh, I put that one low on my list.
Yeah.
You really like the show?
Community. People love this show. Yeah.
Wow.
2.5 Men's amazing just to turn on, kick back, relax, and watch an episode pre-Kutcher.
So exactly what is it about then? Because I don't know too much.
It's about this jingle writer, okay? Played by Charlie Sheen. He writes like jingles and shit.
Oh my god.
What?
I forgot to put one on. I literally just thought of a sitcom that I used to watch that I really love based on Jingle Writer. Because there's a show called About a Boy that was a fantastic show that I watched both seasons of. I don't know if it's still on or whatnot, but great show. And the main character, literally, he lives off nothing. Like, he's still getting paid for one song he wrote that was a Christmas jingle that he loved. I'm super pissed that's not on my list because it would be at least top 5. I would think. Yeah, it would beat George Lopez. It'd probably be under Friends, but it would beat George Lopez.
Fair enough. About a Boy.
It. Well, honorable mention. There you go.
You failed.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Explain 2.5 Men to me. Jingle Writer.
Jingle Writer, Charlie Sheen character, yes. Mm-hmm. Lives in a big house with a mansion and a maid. Okay? That's what he's got going for him.
Nice.
Because he makes a ton of money off writing jingles.
But
he's very, like, neurotic into himself, very, like, prideful, whatever, thinks he's got to gift to women, and he pretty much gets sluts every night. But then, his brother, who's in a long-term relationship, right, with his kid, gets a divorce and has nowhere to live.
Ugh.
And he moves in with his brother, who doesn't want him there. And so now you have this drunk, you have this pussy, and you have this annoying kid who can actually act sometimes. And he comes pretty good. I mean, it gets redundant during the Kutcher years, though, too, because the kid's pretty much an adult now, and it's still 2.5 Men, but he's, like, fucking grown.
Yeah, he's not.
But that's where the title comes from. Yeah, so it's just kind of their exploits, their family life, and you can just sit down, chill out, watch an episode. You can just jump into that show. You don't need to start with the...
No, that's cool.
Up to season 8, I think.
Yeah,
I think
now
the beginning of season 8 has Ashton Kutcher, too.
It's starting to sound like About a Boy is a cheap discount to 2.5 Men, honestly.
Is it?
It kind of is. It kind of sounds like it.
My number 2 was almost my number 1.
Ooh, so it's a close.
I almost put it there. In fact, in the way I selected it, I was convinced that my number 2 would be my number 1, even though going in, my number 1 was my number 1, and then my number 1 became my number 2 when I thought of the show, and now it's my number 2. My number 2 is Louie, the sitcom show that stars Louis C.K. Relaxed, laid back, tons of satire, hilarious, sometimes really uncomfortable situation comedy. Seinfeld done right. A show about nothing that's literally a show about nothing that's fucking awesome. Like, Louie kicks ass.
I've literally never heard of it.
It's a cult classic. People love it. It's on Netflix. We should give a few episodes a watch.
We should. I've never seen Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. to me, my favorite comedian. A show starring him. It'd be hard to beat out Louis, but one thing ultimately did for me. But we'll get to that.
We will get to that.
What's your number 2?
Okay, my number 2, which I'm surprised it's not on your list, because it's one of my favorites. Like, I don't know, some people might disagree, I guess, but I really like it, and that is The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
I
consciously had that in mind, but no.
You didn't, not even honorable mention.
I like it, but, honorable mention wasn't like 11, 12, and 13 for me, because I have 3.
No, that's fair. Neither was mine.
They were just like interesting things that I really enjoy that I go back to sometimes weirdly.
Okay, but no, Big Bang Theory,
but
scientists.
I love it. I think it's
college.
Funny. I think it's smart.
Teachers.
It's just
not teachers.
I've seen more sitcoms, and personally, I don't know. Like, it's a really smart, well done show.
I think it's done well. I really like the characters. They all feel unique and different.
I don't
that's what
enjoy binging on it.
Fair enough. I've never had an opportunity to. I watch it as it goes, so, I really enjoy sitting down that once a week.
I'll sit down and watch it. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking me what would I binge watch, because that's more important to me on my sitcom list. That could be different for you guys.
I would still watch it. I'd binge watch it.
Because the thing is, this is top, and it's like, well, what is top? Is it my unique top? Or is it what I think is the best ever made? My number 1 wouldn't change, but a couple things would. 2.5 Men I don't think would be that high on my list if it was the best shows made.
Fair enough.
But my favorites, the ones affected me the best. So that's kind of what I took it as.
No, that's fair.
Not as big a fan of The Big Bang Theory, but I still like it.
I really like The Big Bang Theory. Like, I don't know. I guess, I've heard some people don't like it, like it's whole dry humor or whatever. I disagree. I think it's a really well done show. I think it's funny. Sometimes it tries a little hard, but most of the time it hits the nail on the head, I think so. I really enjoyed it. I really do. And I think both of our number 1s are the same, because you wouldn't leave it off the list.
They are the same. We know without even having to talk about it what number 1 on each other's list are, because... Really?
I thought you were going to say it.
Did you just premature ejaculate your number 1?
I did.
Hype.
I did. Okay, continue.
How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother.
Number 1, by far, memorable characters, straight off the wazoo.
Awesome.
Every episode, amazing. One of the smartest sitcoms written, sets things up seasons in advance. The only thing bad about it, and it doesn't even hurt it that much, it's ending.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of its ending.
Honestly, I wasn't... it didn't bother me at first.
I saw it coming and it made me bawl. It pissed me off.
In a bad way. Made a ball in a bad way. Because you were explaining to me, and it really opened my eyes and made me not really enjoy the ending. I still don't...
In a sad way, because I was emotionally connected.
But he brings up a valid point where it kind of circles itself back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Because throughout the whole thing, you have a sense of advancement, like everything's changing.
We're talking about how bad it is, we're talking about how we love it.
And it's great.
The ending is a footnote, because the ending is literally the only part. It circles around. I don't know if you like that or not. To me, I'm not as big a fan, only because...
And where you started.
Stories are about character arcs, and people are supposed to grow and change as they go on, which is why it's funny.
Which is why Friends is really good, because they did that. Everybody changed for the better, and it was fantastic.
But then again, you can argue that How I Met Your Mother showed that life happens. Sometimes you can't help but go back to point 1, to where you started.
And then keep growing on. Yeah, you got a point.
There's still experiences and stuff, and he's still got children. There's still, stuff that happened.
It's true.
But,
fantastic.
Even how they did the mother was fucking fantastic.
See, I didn't even watch it till recently, this past year or so, and I watched the whole series twice in 3 months. I literally fell in love with that show, and I was super surprised I hadn't seen it earlier. Because if you haven't seen it, It's on Netflix.
How I Met Your Mother.
Best investment of your time you can make for TV shows.
Sitcoms.
We'll get to other ones. For sitcoms. Fair enough. We didn't even go through our honorable mentions, but we will after. It doesn't matter where we
should have technically done it before we revealed our number one.
Well, that's when most people do it, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much.
I would like to do it before our number one. I think it builds the hype up for number one.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Honorable mention, though.
Okay,
let's go
so we've got three, right?
I have three, you have three.
Yes.
I've mentioned a couple of mine.
We're not going to talk about these ones as long because that would take too long. Yeah. That's why they're honorable mentions. They don't get a chance to be in the spotlight.
No, you don't get a chance to explain. Sorry.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. One of my honorable mentions because it's a classic and because it did introduce a lot of cool things that are still used in sitcoms.
Well, for me, like, I grew up faster. Well, it wasn't really my time area. I grew up, like, right after it kind of sort of ended and stopped being a thing, so I didn't really get a chance because I was a little late. Not quite a 90s kid. 95, so not really.
If you're a fan of Fourth Wall Breaks, you'll be a fan of that show.
Really?
All the time.
Fair enough.
30 Rock. It's about
Heard of it.
people working at NBC with Alec Baldwin, and Tina Fey is actually kind of funny, and I don't like Tina Fey.
No, I don't. I think a lot of people don't like her. I don't know her too much, so I can't say anything.
Well, I said in that she's kind of funny.
Fair enough.
All around, it's a pretty good ensemble in 30 Rock. And then Blue Mountain State, which is about a backup quarterback at a college called Blue Mountain State, like the number one college football team.
Haven't heard of it ever.
Well, the thing is, he wants to stay the backup because the easiest position in football. He gets all the poontang, he gets to do all the parties, and has to do the least amount of work.
Okay.
So he's just there for like a 4-year hurrah, and it's kind of funny. Spoiler alert: eventually he does become the starter, but that's when he gets a perceptive change. See, even Blue Mountain State, something that stupid has a character arc.
Right?
What the hell?
That doesn't sound too interesting. All right, well,
it is really interesting with the characters. It's a character-driven story, and it becomes pretty fun. They're weird and sometimes hard to get through. That's why it's on an honorable mention list, though, dude. I'm not like, oh, this is the best.
No, that's fine. Okay, fair enough. All right.
Serious.
Mine is not that great. They're Scrubs, which I mentioned earlier. You know, it's a pretty good show.
Right, we already beat that to death.
Yep, we did beat that to death. So, and then I have Two Broke Girls, which I haven't really seen much, but it looks like something I could potentially
forced acting up the wazoo.
Is it? I don't know. I haven't really seen it,
terrible.
But I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good from people.
It.
I would like to see it.
If you like it, that's awesome. I like what they do at the end because they actually show you how much money they've made because they're trying to start a cupcake business.
Do they?
Yeah, so at the end, they have a cash register sound and ching! You get to see if they lost or made money that episode and what their total is.
Huh.
And that's kind of a cool device. But I'd say overall, I can't get past the show because the acting feels so forced and fake to me. I don't know why.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know much about sitcoms.
I would have put you on a poll had you had it in your top 10. I'd be like, prove it.
Oops. Fair enough. Okay. My last honorable mention is The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I watched it a lot as a kid. That was my first show that I really got into.
I was close to, but I know enough adult sitcoms now that I didn't want to put any of the old tweeny nostalgic ones on there.
I wanted to because that's where I started, and I didn't want to.
They're all good, dumb fun that use literally the same plot devices every episode, but they change characters and they switch situations around a little bit. Well, I'm just saying it has the same flow. It doesn't have a different flow between episodes.
Fair enough.
It's always just, I got home from school and this is something to watch because I'm home from school.
I did. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment if we missed your favorite sitcom.
We're sorry.
Let us know what they are.
If you like Two Broke Girls, I don't like you.
He doesn't like you. I don't care. Personally,
no, I'm cool with it. Some things have been funny. I just can't do the show as a whole.
We're done with sitcoms.
I'm just saying I can't do the show as a whole.
And you think we're idiots because we didn't even mention it at all. Let us know down below because we like to know when we're being stupid because I usually am.
How I Met Your Mother? That show sucks.
Oh, please leave now. Okay. But thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck. Have fun. GG.